All right, everybody, we're going to talk about adrenal fatigue. And we have all felt it at some point, right? Where it's just the constant go, go, go. And then you just feel like your body completely hits a letdown point. And then sometimes we just feel dysregulated, almost like we either can't get up in the morning or maybe we hit that afternoon slump. And so at 2 o'clock, we're reaching for coffee and we think we just can't possibly make it through the rest of the afternoon. What this is really representing, though, is a kidney deficiency or a qi deficiency in the kidneys. So we've got to look at bringing more energy and balance to that. And what I love is that you can use things like essential oils, right? The adrenals actually sit on top of the kidneys. There's these little tiny glands, but they help support your body's energy. And when we have dysfunction and dysregulation with the adrenals, we have downstream effects metabolically that will influence your blood sugar, your mood, and things that involve just your overall energy. So being able to focus on the task at hand or be able to make it through the day. And then a lot of times you'll see things like your sleep downstream. So when you go to bed at night, you might be that wired but tired or tired but wired. I'm not sure how that phrase goes, but basically you're really tired, but then your brain is still going. That's the overall effect that I'm talking about. So I'm going to point this one out first because when I talk about adrenals, I absolutely love neroli. This is a roller ball. This is neroli oil, and you can actually roll it on your upper middle back, right on top of your skin, massage it on the left and right side, and that's right where your adrenals sit, right over the kidneys that we talked about. That's the place that we need to support. So that's an excellent remedy for that. What are some of the other signs, though, that you may have adrenal fatigue? It could be that you overall just have this not a big zest for life. Like you just do not feel like you have energy. You could just be dragging throughout the day. Our bodies naturally produce cortisol in the morning. So you could have a pattern where your body's just not lifting you up, right? You're not getting that spike of cortisol in the morning. So you're just flat. And then you kind of go through your day and maybe you're just really dependent on caffeine as a stimulant to keep you going. Or maybe you're the person that has a lot of energy first thing in the morning, but then you really start to drive down that cortisol and you immediately bottom out around lunchtime. And then you may actually have that late afternoon spike again, but that late afternoon spike is going to suppress melatonin. That's going to inhibit your sleep. We talked about those patterns. Hair loss, food cravings, those are all things that would be associated with adrenal fatigue. If you feel like I just have to have some sugar, I need some sugar, that's a sign that your body is really, it's not calibrated in a way that your circadian patterns and your energy patterns are sufficient. So it's something to pay attention to and something that we want to look a little bit deeper at. Now, what are some ways that we can support our body if maybe you in fact have some of these symptoms and patterns? Schisandra is an excellent root herb that you can add to your herbal protocols and things that you add into your supplement regimen every single day. So you want to start with about 1 to 3 grams daily. I always say to titrate up, start smaller, and then you can move up from there. But Schisandra is phenomenal. Holy basil is one of my absolute favorite herbs for stress. I love taking this in the form of tea. So if you're not a tea drinker, maybe consider doing this at the end of the day to help you unwind. So I actually have ginger and chamomile, just like holy basil. Chamomile is an excellent herb that you can add into a tea that is very soothing. It really helps your body's circadian patterns by getting you in that parasympathetic that allows you to sleep a little bit deeper and a little bit more efficiently at night. Now, on the other side, during the day, instead of caffeine, because we'll talk about why caffeine can be problematic for people with adrenal fatigue, chaga and other forms of mushroom like reishi and cordyceps are excellent in helping modulate stress, but also promote energy in the body. This is something I've actually switched to. In the last 2 years, I realized caffeine and coffee were just not working for me. I generally tend to have things on overdrive in life. There's so many things going on, and the caffeine was just keeping me up at night, and then I wasn't really feeling all that great during the day. I was also having a lot of cravings. So I switched to mushroom-based products. And I've kind of swapped what I would have normally for coffee for these products. And a lot of them are actually blended with other things too, like burdock root, that have a little bit more of an earthy feel. So you may be able to find some blends that give you the same feeling like you're drinking coffee, because we all really love that, let's be honest. but you're not getting the effects. And there's so many other components of this that help support your immune system and help promote mental clarity. So there's a lot that you get just in using mushrooms. Now, one of the other things that you can use is ashwagandha. We know that this is a great herb for stress. So you can take that again in capsule form. You can actually find it in tincture. So if you're not one that likes swallowing pills, know that a lot of the herbs that we talk about can be taken in an oral tincture. So you can just put some drops either in water or you can take them directly internally if you can tolerate the taste. Sometimes they're a little bit pungent. Foods that harm when you have adrenal fatigue are caffeine and sugar. Those are going to be the biggest offenders. Caffeine is just like, it's like whipping a dead horse is what is kind of the image that I get. Your body is laying flat out and it doesn't have the energy or the energy systems to be able to build new mitochondria in your body. And so now you're just going to throw caffeine at it and just hope that maybe if I beat it harder, if I beat these cells down harder, I will get something out of it that gives me the energy. But at the end of the day, we're not supporting what the adrenals need. So think of things that are rich in vitamin C. The adrenals actually need vitamin C to help produce cortisol and do their job of sustaining and balancing energy in the body. So leafy greens, asparagus, cauliflower, all types of fruits in the form of berries are really, really great because they're high in vitamin C. Wild caught fish, even some nuts can be really good. If you're sensitive to some of them, then I wouldn't go overboard on the nuts. But kidney beans, chickpeas, all of these things can be really good because they have fiber. So think for the adrenals too, you don't want to have anything that's just very high in sugar without the fiber because it's going to send your blood sugar on just a roller coaster ride. Generally, if we have adrenal issues, we're going to have blood sugar issues downstream. So when you have your meals, fat, protein first, and then you can add in some of the carbs. You don't want to wake up first thing in the morning, have caffeine, and then have, just a bunch of fruit, have melon or bananas or something like that. They can be great, but by themselves, they're going to spike blood sugar, and this is going to further dysregulate your body. It's going to exacerbate a problem that is already there. Now, when we talk about home remedies that are not related to the kitchen, things like walking and meditations, these are really, really important because adrenal dysfunction means that the body's stress response is not working appropriately. So that means that we're talking all stressors, but the biggest one is going to be, do you have time for your body to rest and digest? Are you sleeping? Please prioritize sleep. You have to do that to get your adrenals right. And if you're not sleeping, look for ways to take Epsom salt baths, add magnesium, do whatever you need to do. Turn down the lights. Don't have overhead lights on at night. Just turn some lamps on. That can be a really simple way for your body not to feel like we're up and running. You've got to be able to get the engine to calm down a little bit so that you can get that restorative sleep that's necessary for your body to recover. Getting outside in nature is huge. Just go breathe some fresh air. Open your windows. We know that the inside of our homes are far more toxic than the outside. So get outside, open windows, get in the sun, expose your body to early morning sunlight. That's huge for adrenal fatigue. Get outside. It's going to rebalance that circadian pattern. If you're always in front of blue lights, especially at night, your body's internal clock is very confused and mixed up. So make sure that you're doing those day-to-day practices to support some of the things that you're doing at home. The oils. Seaweed is excellent too. I get these like little packs and my kids love them. Always look to see which oils they're cooking these in. Just as a side note, this one is olive oil, but sometimes they're oils that are highly processed and inflammatory in nature. So avocado oil and olive oil are the ones of choice. Make sure there's also no other additives, but this really helps support the thyroid. It provides a ton of nutrients. So we know that the adrenals also need minerals. And I use a lot of sea salt. I actually have a little basin behind me. I keep it out all the time. And it's just either you can use Himalayan pink sea salt or you can use fine or coarse Celtic sea salt. I like the gray Celtic sea salt personally, but just add that. So if you are depleted, your adrenals are depleted, you are mowing through minerals. Like your body is burning through them. Salt, magnesium, potassium, coconut water is phenomenal. Again, switch from caffeine, maybe try some mushroom-based products, incorporate teas at night to help that circadian pattern. I know it sounds like a lot. You don't have to do all of them. You may just pick a couple, and that's okay. See what works for you. If you hate taking baths, don't stress yourself out even more by trying to take a bath. Go for a walk at the end of the day. Whatever floats your boat, whatever is going to move the needle for you, that is what you need to do and incorporate to overcome, to heal, and to address adrenal fatigue symptoms. I hope this has been helpful, guys.